Are you hearing? You hear the conversation?
I can't hear nothing.
You can't hear? Are you on the site?
You know, I don't know that either.
Well, go to I'll put it on my page so you can go to the site and all you have to do is press play to listen in.
Okay.
All right.
All right.
Thank you. All right. So I just wanted to real quick say that I feel like we need to do for our we have another caller coming in. Okay. Maybe not.
Y'all hung up on us.
But we have to have more things for married couples and couples period, just couples period, and promoting that and supporting that and not feeling like I feel like we often in our culture we make it if a couple struggles we make it a bad thing. And we make them feel like they should not be asking for help. We make and I get that a lot too. And I feel like with other cultures, I've seen married couples live with their parents and their families until they're able to go
until they can buy a house.
Right, exactly.
I watch HGTV all the time.
They put themselves through school and they stay at home with their mamas until they're done. Go ahead,
like
bro.
this, like is this entire country is basically set. It was obviously set up by white men. So the entire system and everything that goes on is to benefit the white man. I mean, blacks weren't even considered humans, and women had women had no rights. Women had to collectively, get together and fight for their own rights. The gay community was the same way. And because everything is a group effort, they do everything they can to make sure that we do not all band together. Because if we band together, I mean, it's like, okay, the white males have built this wall. And the only way for us to get over this wall is I have to help you, you help him, he help, and as long as they can create that division right there, as long as they can divide the groups, nobody's going to get over that wall. I mean, if you look at, like, the gay community is getting so many rights now. And it took for not only gay people, but it also took for straight people who were like, these are people, they need rights too. It took for people who didn't live their same lifestyle to help push this, and it's the more, that's why they get so angry that with, I don't want to say the Black Lives Matter movement, but any type of movement that's pushing towards the ethical treatment of black people, they get upset when other races want to be a part of that. They get upset with them because they know that the more numbers that they have backing them,
power in numbers.
Exactly, it's power in numbers. The more numbers that they have backing them, the stronger that movement becomes. And now we can get over that wall, and that's what they don't want. Which is why the black person is so copied in America that it's ridiculous. So,
plagiarism. We need our checks.
So what they have to do is, because we have the most influence. I mean, look, you had, last year you could scroll Facebook and see millions of little white kids doing the dab, all because they saw Cam Newton doing it. We have that type of influence, so they have to restrict and limit what they allow us to do, which is why the entertainment industry is run by Jewish. It's run by the Jewish people. And I don't follow any religion myself, but if Farrakhan has written about 4 books on the relationship between blacks and Jews, and a lot of this stuff he talks about is still relevant to this day. And it's like, if they control the entertainment industry, if they control what you hear and see, what images is it? Like, they continue to put out images that destruct, of destruction for us.
Scare tactics.
Exactly. And then it's like, well, why don't black women feel like they need a black man? Or look at the TV shows they put out. How many TV shows are being shown that promote black love? You got Love and Hip Hop, man. Like I've watched 2 episodes.
promote nothing
I've
but
watched 2 episodes.
Messiness in hip hop is
And, exactly. I watched 2 episodes and was like, man,
Drama in hip-hop.
this is buffoonery, man. You know what I'm saying? They that's what they want to show us. They don't want to show us like the Cosby Show anymore.
Right.
You know,
different world. Like we had shows where people were in college and we had prestigious couples. They were doctors and lawyers. And
Exactly.
You now it's all you hip hop. You rapping and you cussing and you trying to run people over and doing this.
You have a lot of money,
Right.
Or the persona of having a lot of
The
money.
persona, because ain't none of
But
them
I
got
think
no money.
part of this is, though, we need to take some ownership for that, because if we weren't watching it, they
I
couldn't
agree.
make money off
I
of it, and
agree.
they would
I
start putting it out there.
If we
Let's
weren't
just
in
be
it.
for real, right?
You know.
So put some ownership back on our community. Yeah, they funding it because we watching it and we a part of it. So if we stop doing those things as well, that would take away some of it.
But if you look at the viewers numbers, really, we're not those shows would actually still be successful right now without us watching it.
I agree.
They wouldn't
because
make
we're
as
not.
much money though. They wouldn't be the cash cows that they are though. Like if you look at the Nielsen's numbers, we still are the highest number of people who watch it. We just are. Yeah, they watch
and
it.
who do they make
but
it
not
for?
to the
Come on,
point. The
y'all.
Atlanta show, the Love and Hip Hop Atlanta, all of those, the Housewives. We are still the highest number of viewers for those shows. We just are. Like the ratings are there.
Now that may be true, but it's you got to look at marketing and promotion. Okay,
Right.
I do.
Like though.
She's a marketing specialist.
Well, that's
what I do
that's
for
what
a
I'm.
living. That's how
I'm
the
not.
numbers
I'm
are
not
still
saying.
on hers.
I'm not saying you specifically.
I mean, I do.
I'm not saying you
That number.
specifically, but what I'm saying is,
Yeah, me
if you
too.
look at if you look at these numbers now,
Girl, what you got going?
if it's 10 people,
her phone talking to us, y'all.
if
Siri done gone crazy.
if it's 10 people, okay, and we looking at those 10 people, and of those 10 people, 2 people are doing bad, 5 people are doing great, and then you got the rest that's in the middle. If all I show you is images of the 2 that are doing bad, that's gonna put in your head that, okay, well then they must all be like this.
Right.
I mean, because if you look at, like, I'm into music, okay, and on the radio, you hear all of this trap music. I don't make trap music, but you hear all of this trap music. You hear all of this stuff that's glorifying the shootings, glorifying, drug use and all that stuff. And when people who are positive, such as Talib Kweli, Lupe Fiasco was threatened to have his album stopped.
Yeah, we talked about that.
He was threatened to have his
Yeah, we
album
did
stopped.
talk about
Like positive images and stuff like that, they want to limit that, and if they can limit that, it controls us.
But you know what? Because we're almost out of time. Let me say this. Let me tell you about this experience that I had. Now, I was at the mall yesterday, 2 days ago, and it was a lady pulled over by Brentwood police. Okay, and I stopped and I went over there and I stood by the car that was next to her because I wanted to watch what was going on. That was my right, So it was a guy who pulled up and he was like, what's going on over here? I said, I'm watching to see. And I just, looked back. He said, well, that's probably not any of your business. I said, do you want to get choked out or no? and before I could,
isn't your business
Exactly.
if you want to be for real about
before I
it.
could catch myself, I said it, and I said, you know what? I said, we have to stop resorting to violence.
Yeah.
That's my, and I'm from the hood. Let me tell you something. I will pop off quick, but I'm trying my best to, to not be that guy. So, I said, you know what? I do apologize for that, but I'll need you to go and do what you're doing, and I'm going to continue to do what I'm doing. Thank you. Be blessed. And that was that. But I wanted to make sure that my sister or my mother or my grandmother, whoever he had pulled over in their car, was going to be okay. You get what I'm saying? They don't understand that though. They don't have to understand it because they've never experienced it.
There you go.
That's real. And so let me just touch on we're gonna recap some of these solutions right quick. Understanding, communication, and trying to get away from this system that has been designed to separate us and destroy our community. And taking accountability, responsibility, 100%, and also not just taking accountability for yourself, but if you see somebody else doing something, letting them know that's not cool. We gotta change that. We gotta do something different, and also taking the initiative to learn about things that you want. If you want to be a father, if you want to be a husband, a good husband, take the initiative to learn that. If it's not somebody around you, there are books, there are programs, there are different ways depending on how you a learner, or get somebody else's experiences. As far as women too, just like, we all aren't made to be mother. If you've never been a mother before, you have to learn. And just like in a relationship, if you haven't been in a healthy relationship before, you have to learn.
And it doesn't always have to be trial and error.
Right.
You can prepare and you can learn from things by research and learning just your own self.
Yeah,
You don't have to just
exactly.
Learn from failure.
Yeah, exactly. You research,
gotta
you learn how to. You learn on your own. You research. You find different ways to pick up what you need to know. Yeah, and I'm a big advocate of that. And then I'm a big advocate of, you shouldn't tell me I don't know. I feel like, why have you looked it up? Have you tried to figure it out? Don't just come to me and tell me you don't know. You have to do some steps first before you come to me and I help you. So I feel like that that's a part of a sense of our entitlement. We feel like we're entitled to everybody to just give us the answers, give us this, show us the way, hold our hands. No, we have to learn, and we have to start taking that initiative. Because like we spoke before, there's a lot of things that we can't teach you. There's a lot of things that women can't teach men and men can't teach women. So we have to take that responsibility to learn it. And just building and unifying in ourselves and doing that daily and working on ourselves daily. So I think that's a big important part of it. I think Kevin. Okay. Why I want to call him Keith? I don't know why I want to call him Keith, but Kevin spoke on that too. Taking responsibility for yourself, and working on yourself is a very big component in it as well. A lot of times we don't want to check ourselves, but we have to, and we have to. So I want to thank you all for tuning in. This was a very great show. I'm so glad we had this discussion.
I'm so glad I thought of it.
Oh, hold up. What? Anyway, I'm so glad we had this discussion. Thank you all for coming out. Y'all brought some great insight to the table. And thank you all for tuning in. Thanks to the callers for calling in. Don't forget to follow our page on Facebook, Get Connected with AJ, Instagram, Get Connected with AJ, Twitter, Get Connected with AJ. And let us know what you thought about the show. Let us know about anything, any topics or anything you would like for us to speak about. And if you want to be a guest on the show, check out our website, www.getconnectedwithaj.com. If you're interested in being on the show, we have a form on there for you to fill out, and we'll definitely get back to you.
And if you miss most of the show, you can play it back on the website.
That's right.
Y'all be blessed.
Yep. And until next time, peace.